My name is Paul Allen, and I'm a missionary with Youth with a Mission. Pictured here is my wife, Monica, and my children, Cole and Eliana. We are stationed right here in Madison with YWAM Madison. This is our home on the north side, just about a block from our office, known as the Global Mission Center. We train and send missionaries from all over the world. They come here for several months of training and then go out from here all over the world. We love living here in Madison. We love being a part of City Church, and our children attend Abundant Life Christian School. We're so thankful for all of your prayers and support over the years. Our mission came into 2020 expecting great things from God. Really, we had the word about it being a year for breakthrough. If anything, it's felt very challenging and hard. But one of the things we've become convinced of is that the challenges that we're going through are opening people's hearts and minds in a way that they've never been opened before. People are lost and they're searching for hope. And we believe that we're on the verge of one of the greatest revivals the world has ever seen. I want to share with you a quick story that just came in from Brazil, from one of our teams we just sent there, of a drug addict who's lived on the street for years, estranged from his family, and had a dream of a blonde girl coming to rescue him from the streets just 2 days before our team showed up.
While we were in Sao Paulo, Brazil, we had the opportunity to do like evangelism and ministry in more high-risk areas. And so the first place we went to was a place called Crackland, which is a community of people who are addicted to drugs and are homeless, and they all just like live together in this specific area of town.
They were all just living in this place that smelled really bad. Some of them barely had any clothes on.
It is really hard to describe what it was like. You just keep going and there's just people on people on people. And I just saw like a couple of like glimpses of things that just broke my heart.
And I just couldn't help but like feel God's love for them.
But I had like turned and seen on the wall some graffiti, and I saw the words peace and justice in Portuguese. I anticipated that I would be feeling like really unsafe and like overwhelmed, but I actually had like a lot of peace. We kind of just stood there and like people would approach us and they asked for prayer and like they wanted to be seen. A couple girls noticed that this young man was like staring at them, and they didn't think too much of it because it was pretty weird for us to be there, and so it was pretty normal for them to be staring at us and wondering why we're there. Quinn had the chance to talk to somebody that was just like standing out to her.
And the only thing that I know is how to say hi in Portuguese.
They found out his name was Bruno, and he eventually said that he like wanted so badly to be able to call his parents. So most of us didn't even have our phones with us, but Lucas had his and pulled it out and hands it to him and says, "Here, call your parents."
And he looked shocked at first and he's like, "Yeah, like call your family."
They hadn't heard from their son Bruno in 6 months, and they didn't know where he was or if he was even like alive or dead.
Like his whole posture just changed and he was more like alert in this sense.
So when he got off the phone with them, he actually just outright asked Lucas if Lucas would buy him a bus ticket so that he could go back home. And Lucas was like, "Yeah, of course." And then we like took him to a restaurant and we had dinner. Then we took him to the bus station and we had this moment where we all just like surrounded him and he stood in the middle of us and we laid hands on him and prayed for him. I just heard Lucas say like, he's going home, his family's going to accept him. But I didn't really understand the gravity of what that meant at the time. Lucas, who took him home, shared that like on the bus ride home he was saying how he wanted to become a missionary himself. And then the next day we were doing ministry again, and Lucas shared a picture with me of Bruno with his parents. But 2 nights before this one where we were in Crackland, he dreamt that a blonde girl came into Crackland and helped him get out. And that is the reason why he was staring at the blonde girls on our team. And there are not very many blonde people in Brazil. That is uncommon.
I'm with a group of all blondes. Like everyone is blonde except me.
He was sending messages to Lucas that he had checked himself into rehab right away, and he was just like so committed to turning his life around. When I was first looking at what elective I wanted to do with DTS, Rescue and Restore stood out to me because the way that it was like described
was basically you're going to the darkest, most desperate places. First of all, it's crazy that like a rescue actually happened. Like, I wasn't really expecting that out of this elective at all. That like we would actually go into a place and get to be a part of getting someone out of that dark situation.
I knew that this was a moment where it was like a prodigal son moment. Like, not only was he going home to his earthly parents, but like he was going to God, and he was like experiencing the joy of like being received by unconditional love.